Hi, everybody. I am Cass Bowers, and this is Cass Chats. Welcome back. Today is Wednesday, and today I'm just going to randomly rant and talk about all the things that are on my mind. Um, I think I'm really going to stick to Sundays as research Sundays and Wednesdays as just randomness. I don't know a good term for Wednesday randomness. Um, but a lot has been going on since Sunday. I got some more transcriptions done for my research, and if you're new to my channel, you don't know that I am a PhD candidate. I have just closed out my research, and I am writing chapter 4 and 5 very soon, and I am almost done. There's only 5 chapters, so I am at the finish line. I'm there. I just got a little bit more to cross. So that's me. I'm also a mother and a grandmother. I am an activist. I am an abolitionist. I'm also an educator. And I also do DEI training. So I wear a lot of hats. I do a lot of things. I volunteer a lot for different organizations. I'm also a communications director. All of that. And it's just as much as you think it sounds like. And I need to learn how to set boundaries and do better because I'm starting to feel a little overwhelmed. So that's a little bit about what I want to talk about is setting boundaries and saying no. I will be the first one to admit that I have a really hard time saying no, especially to money, especially the money. And so that's hard. It's hard to say no because I come from a place of being a single mother, a very young single mother, and struggling and having to work 2 jobs to support my kids, me and my kids. And now that I'm in a place where I can live very comfortably off of just one of my salaries or one income or one source of income and not have to work more than one job, I still tend to do that. I still have a side gig that I do every now and then, and I am weaning myself off of that. I no longer want to work more than one job. I also am one of those rare beings that doesn't want to teach. Maybe in the future I'll think about it or reconsider it, but right now I don't want to use my PhD to go into an academic environment. That could change. I've had a lot of careers in my lifetime, so that could very well change. But for right now, I want to write a book and I want to never work again for anyone else. I want to only work for myself, and I don't want to have clients or people that I have that have certain expectations of me either. I just want to write a book, and people who like it buy it. If you don't like it, you don't buy it. And I write another one, and then it goes like that. And yeah, I know you have to promote it and you have to um, do book tours and book readings and all of that. And I get that. But I really want that to be my next goal in life. So, randomness, random Wednesdays, right? So I'm just gonna rant to you for a few minutes and then I'm gonna get off of here and get all my other work done because I actually just finished working on a Twitter storm for my day job as a communications director regarding some things that are going on in Wisconsin. So yeah, it's been a late night for me. It's 8:58, so I literally just finished and wanted to pop on and do a video before I called it a night. And unfortunately, I didn't get to work on my dissertation at all today, and that just frustrates me a little bit. But some days I just can't get to it because I'm just so busy. So I try to dedicate the whole weekend to it. So that's when I'm able to get to it. But backing up to the beginning of this little rant that I where I was going after I gave all that long introduction. I was in a debate with someone recently, a man, about a woman taking a man's last name. So I thought that I would bring that debate to my Random Wednesday rant and see what you all thought. I personally don't think I will ever change my last name. It will always be Bowers. I like Bowers. I've been a Bowers for 51 years. And if there's a big fat if there, if I ever get married, I don't think that I would change it. I don't correlate with being a good wife with having the same last name. That doesn't mesh in my brain. And so, anyway, some of you may disagree. Most of you probably disagree. There's a verse in the Bible, and I should have looked it up because I don't know it verbatim, but it says that a man leaves his family or his mother, and he cleaves to his wife, and then they become one. There's this verse that people use all of the time, and I wish I had it. I might look it up and put it in the comments. But the man and woman become one. Husband and wife, they become one entity, and people use that verse to mean you have to have the same last name. And it's so funny because I grew up in the church. My dad is a pastor, so I am a preacher's kid, a PK, whoop, whoop. So I know a lot about the Bible. I went to Sunday school for 17 years, and I'm not very well versed in the Bible anymore, but I know where to go to look and to research for things. I am a good researcher, so sometimes I will open the Bible or the Bible app and find a scripture, because one of my favorite things to do is to dispel myths that people think are biblical and they're really social. And so in the Bible, it does not specifically say that a woman should take her husband's last name. If you do that, I see nothing wrong with you doing that. It's perfectly okay for you to take your husband's last name. And it's perfectly okay for me not to take my husband's last name. I can still have a really great marriage and not take a husband's last name or my husband's last name. And you can have a really great marriage and have the same last name as your husband. Those two things aren't synonymous. Synonymous? You know I can't talk. I'll have to find out that word later. But those two things they don't have to be the same. Like, you don't have to have the same last name. And people use the Bible to defend something when, one, they don't live a holy, biblical, godly life. So you're throwing a scripture just random at me to make a point. And then they don't even know that it doesn't make their point. Because, for example, Jesus was Jesus of Nazareth. In the days of the Bible, the person had the name of the city that they were from. So Jesus of Nazareth was his name. So that would mean my name would be Cass of Milwaukee. And if my husband would happen to live in Milwaukee too, his name would be of Milwaukee as well. So folks didn't have last names. That's why the Bible doesn't mention it. That's my point. It's a social construct. So marriage is talked about very extensively in the Bible, about coming together, about leaving your childhood ways, about submission, about submitting to the church and to God, and to all those things. Marriage is like all over the Bible. But it never mentions that a woman should take the husband's last name. So, when you say that to me, and I know that, I'm not going to let it go. I'm going to be like, no, this is a social construct. A woman having to take her husband's last name is social. It's a socially acceptable construct. It's socially acceptable to take a man's last name. And it's actually kind of socially unacceptable not to. I've argued with people time and time again about it. Not that I care or think that it's wrong for you to take someone else's last name. I don't really care. All I'm saying is I don't think that I will, because I don't think that marriage is built on if I take someone else's last name. And here's the kicker. My last name is a slave owner's name. It doesn't even belong to me or my family. It was the the white slave owner, racist that owned enslaved Africans. It was his name, her name, but it wasn't mine. I'm not arguing with you over a slave owner's name. I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to keep mine. You keep yours. We come together. We have a happy, loving marriage. And we're just happy being together, being partners in life. How about that? How about that? So I'm not going to keep arguing with folks over this. It's a personal choice. But I really want people to be more open-minded about the personal choice and knowing the difference between a socially accepted choice and a biblical choice. So trying to beat me down with the Bible won't ever work. Because there's a lot of stuff I know about the Bible, so that won't ever work. But also, you have to know the Bible as well, not just that one verse. We'll talk about submission one day, because that whole Bible chapter talks about submission in a way that no one gets. It's not about the woman just submitting to her husband and taking his last name and being meek. No, it's not that at all. But that's for another time. That's a different rant. But I have no judgment or ill feelings toward a woman that decides to take her husband's last name. Good. Happy for you. I love love. I love marriage. I love to see people happy and in love. However you want to do it, by all means, whatever works for you. I'm just saying that it may not work for me. And it might. Who knows? I might meet some guy and he changes my whole understanding. He gives me some new information, and I'm like, oh, that makes sense. I am going to take your last name. Who knows? All I'm saying is that we need to stop being so judgmental for people who aren't in this little social box of acceptability, and they live their lives a little differently. Because, for one, I don't even know if I'm going to get married. It's not a goal. It's never been a goal in my life. So I don't even know if it's going to even happen. So I don't want to keep arguing about something that may never happen, and by choice. And also, I just want people to understand that we're all different. Me as a Black woman is different than the Black woman that's sitting next to me. We all want things differently. We all have different needs. And sometimes they're not socially accepted. And sometimes they are. Who knows? But that's my rant. That's it. That's it. Love on each other. Be kind to yourself. Take some moments for yourself and take pictures. I've been really sad lately. I've been looking at pictures of my cousin and enjoying that we had so many pictures together. But the last picture we took together was about 5 years ago. I don't have any more recent pictures, but I mean, her family has a ton and they've been posting them. I've just been loving seeing her face. So one piece of advice, if you think that you aren't photogenic or you gain weight or you've lost weight or this or that, take the picture anyway. Because I don't have a lot of pictures of me and my grandmothers, and I miss them, and I wish I had more. Now, I take a ton of pictures with me and my grandsons, a ton, so they will have pictures, and that's my advice for you. Take the picture, because someone will want to see your face when you're not here anymore. Anyway, that's kind of a sad note to end it on, but such is life. I will see you next time, Sunday, Research Sunday, with more tips, hopefully, and a finished chapter, chapter 4, finished chapter, and more insight. How about that? All right, see you on Sunday. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe.